Hey, Summerlin agents, it's Tim. How are you? Wanted to do a short video regarding a situation that's coming up more and more. Probably a dozen or so times since August 17th, the topic of unrepresented buyers have come up from you, the agents, with questions about it, okay? A lot of buyers think that if they don't hire an agent, they're going to save money. Okay, but they don't know about all the liability and the things that go in with that are attached to that. And you as an agent, you got to be careful. It's going to be very tempting if you have a listing and you get a call from a buyer that wants to see the house, and you as the listing agent can show it. Okay, but then the client or the customer says, I want to make an offer. Now you become a representative of that buyer, and you got to do a BBRA. Okay, but they say to you, look, Tim, I don't want to pay any fees. Okay, so I don't want to be represented by anyone, so I can save money, and I'm just gonna, type up a form. I'm gonna go online and get a real estate purchase agreement, an RPA of some kind, and send it over to you. Okay, all of those situations we want to avoid. Okay, of those 10 or 12 buyers that have run into this, that I've been exposed to, I would call up that buyer for you and explain to him or her the benefits of hiring an agent. Okay, these buyers think they can save a lot of money now that they assume they have to pay their own buyer's commissions, where of course we know that's not the case. We're going to negotiate those fees in the RPA, but some buyers don't know that. They're uneducated to that. So you got to be really careful. What's on the screen now is something from April of 2022 that our our lawyer for the state at that time, Crystal Keegan, created to help agents navigate, should I do a deal with an unrepresented buyer or even an unrepresented seller? The answer to that is maybe. You have to be really, really careful, okay? And in this document that's on the screen, they give you a couple of examples. Like, here's an example. The listing agent is working with an unrepresented buyer, and the buyer doesn't know how to prepare the offer. So the buyer, in turn, asked the listing agent, can you help me fill out the offer? Now, if you really want to get in trouble, here it says the high danger zone. To listing agents, watch out for making statements to the unrepresented buyer, such as, of course, I'll fill it out for you, or yes, put in the blanks on the document, or my advice would be ask for these certain inspections, or this could all create the appearance of agent representation, meaning you have nothing in writing, but this buyer thinks you're their agent, even though there's nothing in writing. You got to be really, really careful. Or, this is what a lot of agents say, right here where it says low danger. Less risky statements. I strongly encourage you to get the help from a licensed real estate agent or an attorney. Or, please read the offer form in which inserted the provisions as you had expressed to me in the email today. I have filled out this document in good faith, based on your email, but I'm not representing you or your interests in any capacity. So you've helped them fill out the form, or you've given them some verbal advice, but then you say, I don't represent you. You're getting in trouble, gang. You really, really are. So I think this is going to happen a lot, where if you have a listing, you're going to get a call from a buyer, and the buyer thinks they can make an offer or even buy the house being unrepresented. You want to avoid that at every chance that you get. A couple of occasions, what has happened when I called the buyer on behalf of our agent, I would talk to the buyer and have to be an investor. And I asked the investor, I said, dude, why don't you want another agent to represent you? And he really didn't give me a strong answer, okay? Then I said, look, my agent has the listing. If they represent you, they're going to do it for a nominal fee because they understand they're representing both sides, okay? They won't do it for free, but I'm sure they're going to give you some sort of discounted rate on the buyer's side commission. And then after about 8 minutes of going back and forth, it turns out, well, Tim, this is the investor. Tim, really what I want to do is I'm an investor, and I want to assign this contract, okay? Meaning I want to sell it before the close of escrow date. That's what we do not allow, gang. That is a big faux pas, red flag. We run the other way. It's legal. There's nothing wrong with that. It's called wholesaling. But we do not allow that at Realty One Group. Here's an example. You have a house listed for $400,000. The investor comes in and offers $400,000, or say $390,000 cash. Your seller accepts it, and you're going to close in 45 days. Then in those 45 days, that buyer has the right to then sell it to another buyer during that 45-day window. And let's say they did. Let's say they got an offer for 410 or 415. That knowledge is going to be passed on to your seller, and your seller is going to say to you, Realty One agent, so this guy offered 390. You told me that was a good offer, and here he is selling it for 410 2 weeks later. Do you see where the problem is here, gang? Can you say lawsuit? Can you say E&O insurance? Okay. So the point of this is I'm going to have Suzanne and Vianney email this 2-page document to you from NVR from back in April of 22. Read it. Hold on to it. Okay. Or if you get stuck at any time with a client that wants to be unrepresented, call me or call Wendy. Call Jeff. Call Mark. Call Jim. Call one of us, because this is a can of worms and a Pandora's box that we do not want to open. Okay? So I hope you all understand that. Hope all is well. October has begun. 3 months left, gang. 90 days left, but it's more like 60 days with holidays, weekends, taking time off. So now is the time where you can actually make some money. Well, a lot of the agents are just taking time off or doing stuff with their family or taking vacation. So now is the time. If you put in the time now, it guarantees you to a certain extent getting off to a good start in January. Okay? As always, I'm always around. Wendy's always around. If you need us, reach out. We'll get back to you. Other than that, gang, keep doing what you're doing. Take care.